Welcome back to Mountain Connections. We are continuing focusing on health this morning. But right now, what about your kids? Many children struggle with ADHD, and the summer can be a really hard time for them. And also, they need to get ready for school. I had a great conversation about this recently. Let's take a look.
After a school year unlike anything we've ever seen before, the prospect of going back to actual classrooms this fall could be exciting for your child. For children with ADHD or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, there are steps to help ease the back-to-school transition. Here to provide some guidance is Dr. Teresa Cerulli, a neuropsychiatrist and clinical instructor at Harvard Medical School who specializes in ADHD. Dr. Cerulli, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
What are some of the things that parents may want to keep in mind now that it looks like their kids will be heading back to the classroom this fall?
This certainly has been a year like no other, and certainly I anticipate a back-to-school year like no other. We've got kids are excited about being in the classroom, and some for the first time that had their learning experience in the past year be virtual. They may be stepping foot in their middle school, high school, or even college for the very first time. So excited, but also some anxiety that goes along with this transition. So I look at the summer as an opportunity to help our kiddos prepare in advance for this transition. Sometimes in our ADHD kids, there's added layers of complexity and challenge to this. Such as during the summer, you may have had a medication vacation. In other words, put treatments on hold for ADHD, and that can be also challenging. And I speak not just as a professional in ADHD, but as a mom who has a daughter with ADHD. So I'm right there with you, parents.
If your child has ADHD, how can the summertime set the stage for the new school year?
The summer is a wonderful opportunity to reassess where you're at. You want to look at what's working and what's not working about what you've been doing and optimize. So rather than medication vacations, for example, I recommend to take this opportunity to optimize the medication, adjust the dose. Perhaps it's time to switch medications and use the summer to do that rather than during the demands of the school year, the academic year. Reinforce what's working and shore up the weaknesses.
And what alternatives do parents have to help their child?
I want to think about all aspects of treatment. That's medication and non-medication. There are stimulants and there are non-stimulant medications. I know the reason that medication vacations happen sometimes is because stimulants can cause a decrease in appetite, and parents are concerned about weight loss or not gaining weight, growth delays. I encourage you to learn there's also non-stimulant medication options. And in fact, I'm here in partnership with Supernus Pharmaceuticals, who has developed a new non-stimulant medication, Qelbree. It's the first new chemical entity we've had in 10 years, believe it or not, in this field. As a non-stimulant, it's not a controlled substance, not scheduled. It's not that medications, non-stimulant medications don't have side effects. They're just different side effects. So you might be watching for fatigue or sedation on this. But obviously talk to your doctor. ADHD varies greatly in how it presents from person to person, and so too the medications need to be adjusted and individualized. It's a very personalized process.
What other steps can parents take to help their ADHD child over the summertime and gear up for the new school year?
Yeah, very important. So far I've mentioned medication. There are certainly non-medication approaches that are equally important. I think of 4 legs of a support table. If you're setting a table for success, one leg is medication, here's the other 3. ADD coaching, also known as parent coaching or parent training, and executive functioning coaching, that's another leg. What do I mean by that? The nuts and bolts of strategies you can use. So learning through the coach how to pack your backpack, how you organize your folders, color code your folders, how you organize your schedule of both academic and your after-school activities, thinking about how you want your day to flow, bedtime routines, mornings, it's all important. So that's coaching. Therapy, another leg of the table, whether it's individual and or family therapy. Again, as a mom of somebody with ADHD, family therapy has been very helpful. Really thinking about how sibling interactions maybe a little different than in a non-ADHD household, and how we can support some of the associated things such as mood changes or anxiety with ADHD. Finally, fourth leg, academic accommodations may be helpful to your child. So think through if they may qualify, if you've had some neuropsych testing, if your child may qualify for on-time tests in the classroom because of distractibility and inattention. Or maybe it's as simple as changing their seat in the classroom where they're sitting more up front and the teacher can make eye contact and pull them, literally, pull them into the classroom, so to speak, just simply by where they're seated.
And where can we go for more information?
For more information on ADHD, I recommend a wonderful organization, CHADD, that's Children and Adults with ADHD, and their website is chadd.org. For more information on the new medication I mentioned, Qelbree, QELBREE.com.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Teresa Cerulli, for joining us today. I appreciate this important information about kids and ADHD and what we can do to set them up for a successful school year.
Thanks so much for caring about this topic.